Senior detectives reckon police chiefs were wrong to rule out rival Scots gangs' involvement in the execution of two gangsters in Spain. And according to sources, murder officers say credible evidence links the deaths of Ross Monaghan and Eddie Lyons Jr. to a tough war here. A source revealed they agree with the Costa del Sol officers who insist a mobile phone seized from the suspect ties him to the Lyons gang's chief's enemies in the Daniels mob. Police Scotland previously said there was no intelligence suggesting the hit was orchestrated from Scotland, but a source revealed experienced guys believe enough has been found to establish a link between the murders and gangland activity here. There's a reluctance to say it out loud over fears it will pour petrol on a dangerous situation. The Spanish police released information top brass would rather have kept quiet. Eddie Lyons Jr. was shot in the chest at the end of May and died on the terrace of Monaghan's bar in Fuengirola, while Ross Monaghan was blasted to death after fleeing inside. 44-year-old Michael Riley from Huyton and Merseyside was arrested in connection with the murders and is fighting extradition to Spain. Police Scotland Assistant Chief Constable Stuart Houston said earlier, this remains a Spanish police investigation. The latest revelation comes just days after grieving godfather Eddie Lyons Sr. said a final farewell to murdered son Eddie Jr., who was laid to rest with lifelong Lyons gang pal Ross Monaghan. The 67-year-old was surrounded by security as he arrived with loved ones for the joint funeral of two of Scotland's most notorious gangsters. Lyons and Monaghan were given a final send-off earlier this month after they were gunned down in a Spanish bar as Scotland's turf war over cocaine shows no signs of stopping. Hundreds of friends, family and underworld figures gathered at Bishopbriggs Crematorium in North Glasgow to show respect to Monaghan and Lyons Jr., brother of Dubai-based mob boss Stephen Lyons. Meanwhile, the mother of gangland boss Stephen Bonzo Daniel has had a shoplifting charge dropped by prosecutors. Annette Daniel had been accused of stealing handbags from the House of Fraser store in Glasgow's Buchanan Street on February the 18th last year. The 63-year-old had been due to face a summary trial without a jury last week. Daniel of the city's Rob Royston area was at Glasgow Sheriff Court, but the case didn't go ahead, with it being marked as not called. A Crown Office spokesperson later confirmed the Procurator Fiscal received a report relating to a then 62-year-old female and an incident said to have occurred on February the 18th, 2024. After careful consideration of the facts and circumstances, including available admissible evidence, it was decided there should be no further proceedings taken at this time. The statement added prosecutors reserve the right to re-raise the case should further evidence become available. Daniel had initially been due to appear at court to face the charge back in April, but she was not in the dock following fears for her safety after her home had recently been torched amid a high-profile underworld turf war. Daniel's home was targeted by those acting for Dubai-based mobster Ross Miami McGill in April as part of an explosion of gangland violence across the country. Defence lawyer Ross Jenkins told the sheriff at the time there are professional concerns about Miss Daniel attending court. She is on standby to attend should the court wish, but there are issues that you may be aware of. The case was then adjourned to the July date before being shelved by prosecutors. Daniel's bungalow and her 72-year-old brother Norman's home in Bishopbriggs near Glasgow were both set alight in late-night attacks. Her home was set on fire at around 1 o'clock in the morning on April the 14th. A nearby bungalow belonging to Norman also went up in flames. Days earlier, a 72-year-old woman and a 12-year-old child, both thought to be relatives of the Daniels, were battered when thugs stormed a flat in Milton in Glasgow. A second house linked to Annette in the city's Rob Royston area had a window smashed. Police are also investigating fire attacks and shootings in the capital. The mayhem has seen thugs targeting properties linked to the Daniel clan and jailed Edinburgh cocaine gangster Mark Richardson.